Hello, welcome back to another Mooneagle Academy video. Today we're going to be talking about coherence and as it relates to vibration, somewhat a bit to alignment. So I have done different videos on vibration before. I've done one about raising your vibration, and that one did very well. Apparently it was coming out at just the right time, and it used just the right title for the video, and there's just a lot of talk about raising your vibration in the manifesting community, law of attraction community, and New Age community in general. But one of the things that I often will argue about is this idea of is higher vibration always better? Just depends. For instance, I think of us as vibrating at more than just one level. We have, how we vibrate physically, how we vibrate in our home lives, with family, with friends, with our work situation, whatever that is. Then we also have, how we are in our community, how we show up, and then how we relate to society and the world as a whole. And all of those different things kind of add up to ourselves. Now, all of those are going to be different, and that's fine. It's just a matter of, are they working together? Are they in harmony? And that's where I think of coherence. And I think the best way to look at this is really to look at it like music. If you go to a choir, there's going to be different groups. You're going to have bass, tenors, baritones, altos, sopranos, and they're all going to be vibrating at different levels. But together, when they're in harmony, meaning when they're coherent, when each level of that choir is working with every other level of that choir, it's going to be a more coherent sound, a more holistic sound, and a more beautiful sound. And so I think it's very useful to think about it that way. The other thing is that, high versus low, and high being good and low being bad. Well, nails on a chalkboard is a pretty high vibration, and most of us would consider that a very bad one. Whereas something like a drum beat is very low vibration, but can be very soothing, can be very sacred, and can be very healing. In fact, I drum this space when I open, when I come in, and I also smudge using a sacred wood, which is, so there's a high and a low vibration working together to create a nice, coherent space. One of the things that happens with coherence is the more coherent something is, the stronger the effect it has on the environment. And this works in the realm of ideas as well. And so that's why things like simple slogans, whether it's for an ad campaign or an election campaign, are really important to be able to sum up what your product is and what it does in a very simple yet catchy phrase that's easy to remember and it transmits. Same thing if you're running for office. You want to sum up what you're about, what's great about you, or maybe sometimes what's awful about your opponent. Works both ways. And I think politics is a really great example of both the positive and negative uses of coherence. So the simpler an idea, the more coherent it tends to be, or the easier it is to get it to be coherent. And one of the simplest ideas involves scapegoating people. So in society, we have lots of problems because we're alive and we're on the planet, and not everyone agrees, and there are things that happen, bad things happen. And one of the easiest things to do to get support or gain support and to accrue power is to blame someone else. They're the scapegoat. And it doesn't matter if they have anything to do with the problem or not. If they're named the problem, then they become the problem. And then you can use that sort of political will to do what you want. And it works even better if the people you're scapegoating aren't like you, if they look different, if they talk differently, if they have different belief systems. That's great, because that's another barrier between you and the scapegoat. And so this has been a very effective strategy throughout history and into today. It's still going on because it unfortunately works as a way to garner support and get people fired up and in your corner. Now, on the positive side, you have weaving through just about every faith tradition and culture this idea that we should treat others as we wish to be treated, that we should be kind and compassionate to others. Also a very simple idea. So, the other example I use a lot of coherence is the idea of a laser versus a lamp. A lamp is diffuse light, goes out in all different directions. Laser, focused photons, all go in the same way. Very coherent. And so you get two very different effects. A lamp will light the room diffusely, but doesn't give off as much heat as a laser. So laser's focused, but it's also focused on one point. And so it can be used for surgery. It can be used to broadcast information very quickly. It can also be used to start fires. So that could be good or bad. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an understanding of coherence and the idea of simplicity makes it easier to become coherent because there's less things that you have to align and get working together. It's hard enough to get ourselves on the same page and then to try to get other people on that page with us. That's a Herculean task, and the people that are really good about it, that is a skill and a gift. I do like the idea, I think this quote was from Einstein, where he said, "Genius is the ability to take the complex and make it simple." I would add to that to take the complex and make it simple with losing as little information as possible in the process. So I hope as you move through the world, you think about this idea of coherence, because the more coherent you are, the more effective you will be. The more coherent your messaging is, the more effective it will be. That's something that I need to work on myself, particularly since, I run a business, I am a business, is to be coherent with my messaging, to be very direct and simple. I'm like, this is how this will help you. Because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for simplicity for what's going on in their world. So I hope this gives you a little bit of information and different way of thinking maybe, or thinking more deeply about certain things. If so, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments and why. Because maybe I'll learn something from what you have to say or how you differ from me. So until next time, peace and blessings. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you want to help support the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. If you'd like to support my work, there are links to my website down below where you can book sessions with me or simply leave a PayPal donation. You can also join my Patreon community for extra perks like weekly prayer ceremonies and monthly group healing events. If you can't afford to do that, you can always just show your support by simply liking the video, leaving a comment, and sharing it on social media. Until next time, peace and blessings.